I built some things there.
Okay.
So I got the message back through the link, exactly the way you said it.
Yes.
But now in the make.com,
Mm-hmm.
I will say I have not received the details back.
Okay, you've tried to run the forms, the Google forms you created. You've tried to run it, but
Exactly.
it did not pass through. It did not go into the automation, Abby.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you using your PC for this call? Are you using your PC?
I'm using my PC. I'm also using my no. The PC is not on the call
No.
because let
Okay.
me try look for it. No, no, no. It's web. I'm using web on the PC.
Oh, okay. No, like what I'm saying is like, are you using your laptop right now for like this particular call? Maybe it's possible you can share your screen and you can try to run it and we'll see what's up.
The call is not showing on my on my system. That's the issue. I'm
Oh,
not seeing the
okay.
call here.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Oh,
So maybe it's because I'm using web
okay.
telegram.
Telegram, right? Okay, okay, okay. I understand now. I cannot download this stuff. It would have been nice to actually check it out, so I'll be able to understand um what exactly went wrong, and maybe this is
Okay.
how. Okay. Will you try to download the app?
Let me download the yes, yes. Let me
Okay,
download the app.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, that would be good. We can just jump right in. Probably almost the ending of the call. We jump right in, and by that time you might have understood it. But we just try to see if there's anything wrong, or if there's anything I will just have to
Okay.
point out. In one way. You can
Okay.
send pictures. Yeah, true, true, true. Thank you for that. You can also send pictures. You can take a screenshot, send a picture. Let us see the exact place that you're talking about, and yeah, we can go on with it. We can go on with it.
Okay.
So you can be doing that. Probably send a picture first. If I don't know if your network would be good to start downloading Telegram, logging in and everything right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just try to do that. Anyone else? Anyone else? Cynthia, you wanted to say something. Okay, Route 7. Mia and this. Okay. Alright, so Cynthia, you wanted to say something? Or not?
I wanted to say, like, yesterday's class was actually okay. I understood down to when you created the Google form link and you're able to do everything. I think I lost you when you started the rotation thing, like
Oh,
adding modules to it. So I'm actually
okay.
waiting for the recorded class so I can try it.
Okay.
I've actually been waiting for it all day. So
Okay. Did you go through the resource, the material I sent, that different page? The one I added on the group here. I think yeah, I did. I added it here,
yeah, I
right?
did.
Okay. So what's up? Did you
Yeah,
try to follow it?
no, I
Mm,
did. I did not try to follow it because I wanted to do everything at once. So like
okay. Okay.
that
Uh,
was
you don't have to you don't
like
have to rush it. You even saw I myself still made a little mistake yesterday as well. So this is one of the things why I say you don't have to see someone as how do I put it, as okay, this person is a god of automation. This one, no, even experts make mistake. And I've seen people, even people that are making millions. They're actually making millions when I started this stuff. Not millions of naira or millions of dollars every single month. And this person used this for his business and is using this for clients' businesses as well. He still made a mistake. He still made a mistake. So at that point I was like, okay, even someone that's an expert does. So, but the thing is, you don't have to rush it. You have to just take it. When it comes to automation, you have to take it a step at a time. um But the main idea is you need to be able to know what exactly you want to build. You need to be able to understand. Like the class we had yesterday, which I'm also going to do a revision on, very quick. But the class we had went, the first build we did went like this. You need to know the goal. You need to know the goal. I think I still have it here. You need to know the goal. And our goal here is we want to collect student details from a form and automatically save them into a database. From this point, you can split it. You can split this thing. You can split it from this. I've forgotten what these English experts, uh, linguistic, abi, what do they call them? I've forgotten what they call this. This and is it a conjunction or I guess so. So anyway, do we have any English experts here? So this and you can split it from here and say, okay, you want to do the first one, which is the form, collecting students' details from a form. So in this case, you just have to reason it. So I need to create a form. So in the other one, and automatically save them. The automatically there is from the word auto. Very simple. I don't want to have to do it myself. I want it to run itself. So that means in this case, I need an automation, right? So save them into a database. That's the second one. It's as simple as it's just two. If I show you a quick example of how I look at jobs sometimes, these are things I still want to even work on with you guys, and it's something I'm still going to also point to. But what's the harm in pointing it out right now? So if you see all these jobs now, if I look through some of these jobs, okay, I even saved one for us yesterday. I saved one. I wanted to even address it with everybody, but I think it's already late now because someone else might have gotten the job since yesterday. So if you look at this, let me see which one did I want to specifically bring out. Okay, this job is actually very simple. When I went through it, an AI powered email drafter. I've built this thing for myself. I did not even like it because I would rather just let it send automatically. But there's a reason why they are using it. This is for a sales team. So what they said here, this is the summary of their requests. So imagine a business owner coming to you now and they drop this, or you use Upwork and you are giving this kind of job and they are telling you, we need an AI dev to set up AI systems for our sales team. This, I want to point something out now. This is one of the reasons why I feel like I still want to be with you guys even after this boot camp, which is because there are some of these things that are just fluff. Not exactly fluff, but it's like hype. Some of this word AI dev, anybody doing this thing already is an AI dev. You don't need to stress yourself. There's nothing special there. You need to be able to understand that there are some clients that they don't even know what they want. I was still in conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and it was like one of his clients was just doing a lot of rubbish on the project. We call it rubbish, and the main thing he found out was that this person didn't even understand what he wanted to do, or rather she wanted to do. But she just came to Upwork, dropped the job. He actually got the job and everything. But they don't even know what they want to do in the first place. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know the two stacks. They don't know how you connect everything. That's why they are coming to you in the first place. So as an expert, you need to be able to break down, either listen to them or break down their words. So the AI dev part, all these things is just. But now a sales team, you need to understand what a sales team is, what they do, for you to try to imagine what kind of build they will actually need. Some of these things you don't just grow into these things at once. It takes steps. You need to be able to research things. As someone that deals with AI a lot, one thing I've been used to doing, even the smallest thing, the next thing I go to Google straight. I go to research, okay, what is the, it can even be like something that might actually be simple. I might have forgotten it. I search for these things. That's what makes me work faster. During the time when I was managing my team one time last year, I remember most of them are always like, how are you able to research very fast? Because every time I tell them research. At one point I had to tell them it's very simple. Most of these things are not hard. To be honest, even this automation we built yesterday, you can probably find steps online because it's very simple. You can even find steps from AI. You can tell AI, okay, what you want to connect Google Forms to this particular thing, you can drop everything here, ask it Google Forms connection with Notion, right? You can ask it on, it's probably even going to give us yeah, you used anything, it's okay, anything Zapier on make.com. See, it is giving you all the steps. These are the steps. They are very simple. The only thing is that if you want more details, you have to be very specific with your prompts, with what you are asking it. So you can use Google as your direct LLM self, and start typing. That's the prompt engineering I told you guys about. So anyway, it's very simple. All these things are the basic research I'm saying. There's no big research. It comes from little things you match together and you get a whole full picture, or you get to solve a whole puzzle. So the idea is just to understand most of these things. The goal here, you can see this person even put a goal. This is very simple. The same thing as I add this one here. My goal here is to collect student data. They have one here. When a customer emails in Outlook, when they send an email to them, an email to them, when anyone, in this case a customer, the email they are probably using is like their business email. So let's assume when anyone sends an email to them, Outlook is also like Gmail, the AI reads it. So that means they want to be able to receive. This is one of the things I'm actually going to go through. I'm not supposed to be doing this early, but I just want you to understand, like, breaking things down. They want to receive a message and they want to pass it through an AI. Now the AI pulls similar writing past emails. That means if it pulls similar writing past email, they want a place where it saves that email that it wants to pull. So from our inbox/outbox, Vi, Pinecone, Rag, or all these things are just big words. Honestly, it's not something big. I remember one time last year, I thought this Pinecone stuff was something crazy. It's not crazy at all. And auto drafts a reply on Outlook. This thing probably just takes like 3 to 4 modules, and we're going to build this as well, or we'll probably just go through it. So I will explain one time at the end of the call. But one thing I'm trying to just explain is that these things are simple. You just need to be able to pause and break these words down. When you break it down, it becomes very easy for you to know, oh, okay, this is what this person wants to do, this is what he wants to do, and well, we should be able to find our way around it. You can also check Google about it too. You see if it is possible or not. So this is one of the ways where you get to break things down very easy. And to be honest, you won't find things very hard. AI automation is not hard. It's just hard at the beginning because it feels like, oh, you are the one probably taking the word very big. Oh, it's AI. It's, oh my God, I've not seen this before. Yo, it is very easy. I'm telling you, it's very easy. So let us go through the picture Ola sent. So it got the input. Okay. The inputs. Okay, sorry. We're supposed to check from the output. There's nothing from the output. There's nothing here. It's only showing the form ID. It's showing a responder URL, but it's not showing. Okay, sorry. Let me see. How can I exit this place? How can I leave this place? Okay, so let me see. Let me try to look at my own very quick, and let me share my screen as well. Sorry, should have shared this. Okay, so I hope everyone can see this. So let's quickly go through integration using Google Forms. There is a way, let me see here. I thought there was a way someone else can join and look at your scenario. So it shows this. Okay, that means he got an answer in, but something really went wrong somewhere. Okay, we'll check on this. We'll check on this. We might not be able to understand it very well until we try to run it on our own again. Then we'll check it out. So now I want to welcome everyone to this call. This is day 3 of AI automation. And first, what I did was ask, for those that have tried it out, I had to ask, what's up? What have they worked on so far? And I see some people have actually done things, and I'm very happy because of this. Because one thing, one thing is, just teaching you guys and not seeing anyone even say, oh, they've attempted anything. Even if there are mistakes there, it is very normal to make mistakes. But the joy is, having to understand that there are some people following. That is the thing. And for those that are unable to follow, probably you don't have a gadget or anything, I would say, okay, okay, you didn't really understand what you were doing. There's no problem. There's no problem. So, and the fact that a couple of people have tried this, and I've even seen someone that's gotten to the point of using Notion, that the person have integrated Notion into it. So, and I'm happy. I'm happy everybody is learning so far. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to go over. I'm going to do a revision of everything we did yesterday. The revision will be faster than the main class of yesterday, but I hope why I'm doing this, everyone is at least able to understand, get one or two things in. And if you need to, please just try to call my attention. If there's a part you don't really get, just try to get my attention. Try to call my attention to it rather. Though we might not be able to go back for everyone. If we want to complete this class, we might not be able to keep going back every single time. But I just want to ensure that the explanation I make now at least make you get some things you couldn't get yesterday, and I'll try to make it as simple as possible as well. So now the first thing I'm going to address here is once again AI automation day 2. And what we did yesterday was we introduced make.com, which is an AI automation platform. So let me start from the beginning here. We introduced make.com. So if you want to build an AI automation or an automation, you need to use platforms, because initially most people were using codes. They were building systems running on codes that you have to build separately. But right now, companies like this have made it easier for us to be able to build things and connect our apps. Things companies and businesses will have had to hire a developer, and that developer will need to work for them right on spot. This time around, we get or rather businesses can actually get AI automation specialists to build these things remote for them and connect their apps and help them set up their operations and marketing, every single thing. So they make use of popular apps like make.com. This is make.com here. So this is make.com. You can create an account by clicking get started. You will get sent to the onboarding phase where you get to input your email, just set up the whole account and everything. There's no mistake in doing that one. So now in our own case, I've created the account before, so I want us to log in. So when you log into your, what the hell is that? When you log in into your account, this is what you are faced with. So you get to see your dashboard, and your dashboard has a couple of things you need to be very careful about. Now, the first thing you need to check is your credits. I am talking about this credit because when it comes to I think the example I made use of yesterday, does anyone remember the example I made use of yesterday when it comes to this credits? When it comes to credits, anyone?
The credit like US dollars.
Oh, okay. No. I don't think that was it. I think
it was about maybe your data or airtime.
Yes. That was it. Thank you. That was it. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate the both of you. So it was about airtime or data. So the same way that works, where you try to imagine a scenario where you you buy airtime or you buy data, depending on your call time, is how much they will be charging you. Now, in this case, you guys, since you are using a new account, a basic account, you'll find 1,000 over 1,000. That is it's every month. It's going to reload itself. It's going to reset rather every month. So you can just leave it there. I mean, you can keep using it, and you don't have to be scared of using it finished, because I doubt there's any automation you build that will be too serious, and you will not, like, you exhaust it very fast. So you need to be careful of the credit, and you need to match it with the scenario you have. Now, you can also make subscriptions here. These are the two things that are really crazy here, which is the dashboard, watching your credit, and also for the subscription part, which you get to understand which case your business, or let me say your client, you need to use. For your own, since you are doing something basic, you can still use free and get familiar with this platform. But when it comes to businesses that want to get a lot of things, you can see for 10,000 credits, they need to pay $9 per month. So you can try to see it. And these plans are very different in a way where your basic plan, you can only run 2 active scenarios. So try to imagine we build 2 automations separately. That's the max you can do. But when it comes to paying from core higher to even pro and teams and so on, you can have unlimited active scenarios. That means you can be running many workflows, but you need to be careful of your credits as well. So there are many more things there, but I'll be very honest, you don't really need to be concerned about some of these things, because what you need to work on is rightly available for you using the basic plan. So most of these things, you don't need to be concerned about them for now. So as a beginner, I will just assume what you are using 1,000 over 1,000, right? So if you want to now create an automation, how do you go by this? You can click on create a scenario here. You will get sent to the page, a blank canvas where you can create a scenario, and this is it. Or you can do that, or you can just come here to your scenarios, and from this part you'll be able to see your active scenarios that are running. So there are 2 ways. When you click on this, you'll be able to still go back and create your scenario from here. So a scenario is more like a collection of modules of apps that you've connected together. So you can also call it a workflow, a particular workflow that you have. And remember, for a basic plan, you can only create 2. So you can actually create more, but you can only have 2 active like this. You can only have 2 that are active. In this case, you might not be able to click on a third one like this. So let us go back and let's create a scenario, right? So we are creating a scenario, and in this case now you need to be watchful of a couple of things. If you are building an automation for the first time, you need to know how to add in apps. Now, for most apps we are going to address in this class, you find them readily available here. How do you add apps? You click on this plus circle, you click on it, you see this come out, and you'll be able to type in the apps. So now I gave us we have a live build, we have something we need to build, and we have it somewhere around here. If you check the resource page, you get to see this here. So our live build 1, we want to build an automated CRM, and the goal of this CRM is we want to collect our students' detail from a form and automatically save them into a database. You can liken this to a business that needs to get in the details of their customer. Or you can even do this, it's not just for businesses like that. Even schools make use of all these things, automations. They make use of this. So in this case, this particular call, we want to see it as, okay, this is a particular class where we need to get in the details of people that are attending this class live right now. So we want to get their details from a Google form and send it into a CRM, which is a database. When you say database, it is where you store details. So we want to collect their details and what, save it somewhere. So that's what we want to do. And to do that, we want to make use of two tools. The first one is Google Forms. There are alternatives to these Google Forms. You can use Tally, Typeform. All these things are free. They're actually free. So you don't need to be, scared of exhausting anything or doing it. No, they are free. You can test them out. So, and that is the trigger. When you talk about trigger, the trigger is the first module you add. And most times when you add a trigger, let's add our Google Forms, which we want to use to take in forms, right? So you type in Google Forms. So you can see I typed in Google Form and I got this. Now you will see that on this place we have many features that can pop up. But what is going to happen now here is we're not creating a form from here. We've created our form already. We've created our form on Google Forms. We just want to connect it here so that when people are putting in details, it will be able to come into this particular place. Now, I remember yesterday we had to create a form together, and this was the form we created. We have 15 responses, so we have 5 more, right? So this was the form we created. It's very easy to create a form. What you have to just do is go have a blank space here, a blank search bar, and type Google. That's Google Forms. Just type Google Forms. You see this. It tells you to sign in. It's a Google product. You can just click in, and you get sent to this particular page here, a page like this. So you can click on blank form since you are going to start from scratch. Click on blank form and start adding your form. We'll give it a title. That's JCIN. Sorry about that. JCIN for year 2. That's the title. It's going to appear here as well. See, okay. So and you start adding in the questions. You guys have interacted with forms in many cases, probably for JAM in the past, or let me say you are doing anything in school and they are collecting votes. I'm pretty sure for all those people that were into politics in school those days, I remember they made use of this. So you can just add questions. This is where you get in the person's name. You can leave it as a short answer or a paragraph, and you can make it required because you don't want anyone to use trick to just skip that one, because it's possible for people to skip that question if it's not required. So leave it as required. You can even make it, let me say, like a full name. You can make a full name or just first name, whichever one you want, first name. And that means you have to create a last name as well, something like a last name. But what we did in our own case, we wanted everything together in one place. But there are cases where you might have to split it. In cases where you are using this for marketing and you want to be able to email the person, you cannot email the person with his full name or her full name. Like an example is saying that's Jude Olabubwe, or you can call my first name, my middle name, and my last name, and you're telling me something. I'm like, that is not necessary. So in many cases, you have to know what exactly the person wants to use it for. So you'll be able to know how to configure this particular part. So we leave it as full name for now because we're not doing anything like that. Or are we doing anything like that? No, we're not doing anything like that. So we leave it as the full name, or the first name rather, the full name rather. So the next one we asked was the email. So just leave it like this, make it required as well. And we added several other ones here that we were able to now get this full form here. So how we got this one was simple. We just had to use a multiple choice. That was what we used, and we started putting the options. Enjoying it. We added another option. I think that was extend it, and so on. So we added 3 here, and that was what made us have this feedback here. So you can see that we've been able to build our form, and I sent the link out for people to test it, to input their details, and we got 10 responses yesterday. We have 5 more, and we're going to use these 5 also in this class. So the next thing, since we've done this, the next thing that it says here is for us to also create the database.
Sir, please, what are the stuff you put there? I'm trying to do the same thing you're doing.
You
so
mean
that
for
I
this
can
form?
follow up well.
You mean for this form?
Yes.
Everything is
For the
here. You
form,
can
full name, email, and what? I can't really see the screen.
you can't see
very
the
well.
screen right now.
No, I can see the screen, but it's a bit blur. You get?
Oh, okay. Okay, you can access this. You can access this particular page. You can access this page so you can get in all the inputs for this particular form. I added everything to the resource page. Are you with me? I added everything so you can get it from here in the Google Forms. Create this field. Everything is there, so you can just get them and use them as well. It's not meant to be something big. That was what made up the form. I did not add an extra. You can just have everything here, get it there, and add it into that. So did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue now. Now the next thing we are supposed to do now is to create our database. We want to create the place where when this form, when the students send in their names, when they send in their details rather, the place where we want to save it, we want to also set it up so it can readily receive the details we are sending to it. So I made use of Notion. Notion is a note-taking app. You can also use it for your journals. You can use it for many other things. You can use it for as a CRM as well. So Notion is a very powerful app. So you can even use it for automations. There are automations inside Notion, but that one is for another day, or that's even if you need it. And for automations, you make use of pro plans. They are not available on free plans as well. So I use it for some automations I don't want to stress myself on doing in make.com or any other thing. But it is not an AI automation platform. It just has built-in automations. You can see it here. It has built-in automations. So what we did was we had to set up the old CRM or the database where we are going to get in these names. We will match everything inside. So if you remember, in our form, let me put the two right beside each other here. We have name, we have email, we have WhatsApp number, and we had 3 questions, and we had our feedbacks, which had 3 options as well. So we need to also create a corresponding receiving database that also has name, email or student's email, phone number, which is the WhatsApp number, then the three quiz questions, 1, 2, 3 here, and where we are going to save in the feedback. We also have it here. In this case, I just named it. Okay, I didn't give it a name exactly. Let me just save it as a feedback. So how did we create this? You need to go to your Notion. So if you've not created a Notion account and you want to set up this database, just go to your blank search bar and type notion.so. Just type this, create an account on Notion. When you create an account, when you set everything up, you'll be able to access your account from here. You'll be able to access your account. And okay, this is once again slow. So you probably be met with some default pages they will have added there, default pages. So it's not be entirely empty. You probably meet like 2 or 3 pages. So the first thing you are meant to do there is you see this icon, create a new page. You can see this. You can create a new page. So click on this. You see you'll be met with something like this, an empty page like this. So you can give the page a name, which is this this big title here. You can give it, that's JCIN 2 here. So you see that we've given it our page name now. Now you can click on the body. And you just type your slash. You can see most of these apps, they are already giving you hints on what to do. You can press space for AI or slash for command. Now the command is what we make use of to create many things when it comes to Notion. Now the command here says we should use slash. So use slash, click on your slash. It gives you several suggested elements that you can use. So in this case, we need our database. So you can just, when you click on slash, you can type database and to give you recommendations. Now we have two databases here. So in this case, since we have an empty page, you can use inline. Inline means when you put the database, it's going to appear there, right there. You can see it here. Now let's Control Z, that's to clear it, to go back. If you go slash again, database, we have two. I'm trying to let you guys understand what these are. If you use database full page, it will create a new page like this, but the database will be inside that new page instead of here. So you see what happens now. We have a new page inside the same JCIN folder 2. So for whichever case you want to do this, you can do it anyway. It still works. It still works because you still do the same thing. So you give it a new database name. You can give it a new database name. But in this case, let's just go back here and use, let's delete this. You delete this and use inline. Let's use inline. So once again, we go on slash and database and use inline database. So it just appears here instead. And we give it a database name. Let's give it JCIN 2. And what we want to do now, we want to add the properties so it can correspond with what we have in this form. We want to be able to take the forms here, we want to take everything here, we want to add them into that particular one here, rather. So we want to add them here. Where's the page? Okay. So we have our name already, which it's default. It's default. It comes with it. So the next one is what we start with, which is the email. If you guys see here, you see what is the email that is next. We have the name already configured. It's a default property by Notion itself. When you created the database, you'll have seen it there. The second property is where you start from, which is the email. So you can see when it comes to this, these are columns now. The name column and the next column, which is for the email. Now we have to pick the property that corresponds to what we want to do, which is the email or contact email. You can use this. They are suggesting this. You can actually use it, or you can just come to select type, which is email here. So that means we want to get email. So the next one is what? The next one is WhatsApp number. You can look for phone here because you want to get in a number, right? You can also change it by clicking on it. You can change it to WhatsApp phone number. You can name it anything so far you remember what you used. So the next one, we're given 3 quiz, right? 3 quiz questions. So you can just use text for the 3. Use text, and that's text and text. So you can just rename it. Rename this to the first question. Let's just use Q1. Oh my god. All right, Q1. That's question 1. You can use Q2. That's question 2. And you can use Q3. That's question 3. That's Q3. So those are for the 3 questions. And the third one, because when you remember this particular form, these are not just these are not asking for responses based on just text. This is asking response based on option. So though you might not be very familiar with Notion right now, I understand that, but there are ways where you can explore them. You see what each property can do. That is where you get to test many things here. You see, you don't really need to go down here from this relation roll up, everything here. You don't need to go down. I've not even used it before. I've not used this aside from the button. I've not used this, and you hardly even use this right now. So but you have to just be concerned with this place which said select type. So you can what? You can pick from any one here. So in this case, we have to pick which one goes with a question type that you can only pick one option. And the question type is a select. It's not a multi-select. A multi-select means in this place, rather than being able to only pick one, I can pick two, or I can pick the three. You get that kind of stuff. But in this case, you can only pick one. And a multi-select doesn't mean you are picking one. It has to be a single select. So single select also means select. So you can just pick select directly here. So remember, if it's a case where you want to pick one option, or you want to give these people one option, you can pick select. If you want to give them multiple options where they can pick two instead of just one, you can use multi-select. So we use select here, which we can name what? Feedback. We can name it feedback. Feedback. So it's as simple as this. So you can see we've created our database. It's as simple as that. And now we want to build our workflow. We want to build the whole scenario, because we've been able to build out our form and we've built the database as well. So now we want to make the connection so that whenever anyone comes here to this particular form, whenever they input their details, it will be sent to Notion CRM, or called the database. So what we do here is we start building our connection right from scratch. You can go once again to the plus button. You want to build using two connections. So you can pick out the two first. That's let's start with Google Forms. You pick that. Now when you pick this one, you actually see many things where you can pick from. All these things are different functions, different features, different things that Google Forms can do in this particular workflow. You need to be able to know which one corresponds with what you want to do. You need to be able to know, are you trying to create a new form? No, you've created it before. Are you trying to search for forms? No. You can just pick the form once you've selected it. Are you trying to update a form? No. You are trying to get responses. So that means in this case, you need to probably look through anyone that looks like you want to get a response. Now you can see this. Now you want to get response here. It exists. You see there's list response, there's watch responses. You need to know which one is which one is going to go in for this particular project you want to do. So in this case now, you can start trying them out. This was one of the things I actually did when I started using all these apps. I've tested everything. I tried to see which one is this. This is part of the way you should try to think as an AI automation specialist. Try to look at things. Don't be scared of breaking them. If there's any issue that probably arrives, which it's not possible on make.com, you can just create another account. It's as simple as that. So I have tried to work with every single thing. I've used this API call. I've used everything. Now, but for this case, we don't want to go too far. We know we want to get a response from them, right? So we want to try these three out. You pick this first. Let's pick this. Let's pick Google Forms again. Let's pick list response, and let's pick the third one, which is get a response. So if you want to know which one actually works in this case, the first thing you just start checking everything out. Okay, does this one look like it's going to bring in responses? Does this one look like that? You can try to read through them. And another thing I'm going to also say is that when you research online to know which module works, you can actually save you the stress of having to pick from all of these things. You can research online. I'm pretty sure they are going to tell us which one to even pick from here. And you can remember we searched for this online, Google Forms connection with Notion on make.com. You can notice with which modules should I use. So it will probably give you the answer safe. You can see this here. trigger module for Google Forms. Module is Google Forms. The action is watch response. So you can see this. It has given you the action. There's an alternative which is a webhook for instant results. I'll tell you about that later on. So watch response. You can see you've been given your answer. So you know out of these three, it is watch response you are going to use. So in this case, you can just delete and delete. We're going to use this, right? So now, how do we configure this to work? We've already set everything up, but I'll try to do something similar once again. So you can see we've added a particular account. That is why it looks like this. But to add a fresh account by yourself, you just need to click on add. When you click on add, it will tell you, it will show you all these things. You can rename this. There's nothing crazy here. JCIN Foyer 2. Foyer, what's spelling of Foyer again? All right. Foyer 2, and you can just sign in with Google directly. It's going to sign you in with the account you used on your Chrome. So, and if that's the account you also used to create this Google form, everything will just link immediately to Sykin. To Sykin immediately. So you don't need to You don't need to stress much on that. When you click on this, it will show a loading. Stuff. Something when it looks like something is loading, it's going to show it here. So, and it's going to give you something like this. So this was what I used to rename it. This where I got this connection name. This was what I used to name it yesterday. So I used JCIN, Foyer AI automation, blah blah blah. I used everything here. So the next thing now is you've connected your Google account to this particular Google Forms, and it has signed in with it rather. In this case, you want to find that particular Google Forms. If that's the only form you created so far on your Google Forms, it will be very easy for you to find it. You just have to probably type. You can type the title. In this case now, if you look at the title here, JCIN, you just have to type JCIN. If that's the only title that is called JCIN on your Google Forms, let's assume you have multiple Google Forms now, and you have only just that. You can type just that. If you have multiple forms that are called, let me say, we want to make use of Foyer, and I have multiple Google Forms that I've created that have Foyer keyword, that have just anything Foyer inside. So if I click on this, it will give me many options, probably 2 now, 3 in this case. So you can see I have Foyer Anonymous. I was using this for a particular team I was working with in Foyer, and this is the JCIN Foyer 2 we just created, but we did not set everything up, so we're not using that. We'll use the one we've created since yesterday, which was this JCIN Foyer AI automation. So we're going to click on that particular one, and we are in. It has taken the form ID, and it has syncing. This is everything you need to know. Now for the third one here, there's limits. What is this limit for? It means it's going to limit the maximum number of results to be worked with during one execution cycle. That means one execution cycle is anytime it runs once, I want you to take 2 results in. That means currently we have 15 responses. Out of 15, I'm going to take 2. We are left with 13. Yesterday we had 10, and we've exhausted all the 10. So we have 5 more left now. We have 5 more. If I do this thing, if I run this execution, if I do this, it's going to take in 2. We'll be left with 3. So let's do that now. We'll save it on limits. And now we were left with these 2 yesterday. We had to choose which one we wanted to work with. Now if I choose all, it might start processing the existing item in your account first. That means those ones we've run yesterday, it can even bring them in. It can bring everything from the beginning in, and it can pick from a specific date. Let's assume your business or your client has been using Google Forms before, and they want to process the orders from yesterday, starting from yesterday, which are still fresh orders. You can pick from yesterday. There's an option for dates there. It will direct you to yesterday, which was on 19. So, and you can choose manually too. You see we have multiple answers here based on the date. These were the ones we ran from yesterday In fact, this is probably everything, the whole 15. You can pick from it. You can see that the time here, it's getting lesser from 9, from this was 9, this is still 9, this is 9:12, this is 9:09, this is 8:22, and like that. You can see everything. So, but in this case, we want to pick from now. No, we want to pick, let's see. We have 5 and we've not even run them at all. So you know what we're going to do now? Let us pick all. So we'll pick all. That means we're starting everything. And you click on save. So if you want to test run this thing to see if it is working, you can just click run once. You can do this. But if you click run once, if this is not the only module, this is called a module. It's an app. This is Google Forms app. You can call this particular thing on make.com is called a module. So you can also still call it an app, right? So if you run once, it is going to run it. But let's try to assume we had other modules, another module, another module. That means it will run everything. That means whatever you are trying to test run here will not only apply to this, but other modules as well. So how do you run this module alone to see if it is working? You right click and what? Run this module only. The option is there. You run this module only and you will see everything that's run now. And this particular thing you see here, the one you see here is the credit that you just used. Everything is here. You can see the summary. One operation equals to 1 credit used. Remember, you add 1,000 credits. So you just try to imagine now you have 999. So you can see that the credit is taken is probably not much. Just 1 for this. So let's try to see our answer here. You can see that we have bundle 1 with the response and answers. It shows last submitted time as well. This that we have here, this output we have here, this result we have here, is quite different from what Ola sent. If you see what Ola sent here, it doesn't have the answer, and I'm still, oh, no wonder. Now, I want anyone here, I want you guys should please point out what went wrong in this form. Or sorry, no, not anyone. Ola, are you with me?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay, can you point out what went wrong in this particular place? Can you point it out?
Yes.
Okay. So what is
So
it?
I was using create a form instead of using respond.
Okay, instead of using watch response.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. You can see that's why you need to be able to use the right module. So you use create a form here instead of what? Watch a response. So it wanted to create a new form for you from scratch probably. So you can see that there's probably you have a solution to this particular thing now. You just have to what? Remove this module, use a watch response module instead. So you can see we've been able to solve that particular problem now. So if you use this, you can see, let's try to see if it's coming from our answers of yesterday. You can see the last submitted time, which was yesterday. This was our first answer. We're going to see Chiamaka Cynthia, right? I hope it is. Yes. So this was the first person that was able to fill in our details yesterday. And the second person should be Adebayo Oluwafisayo, right? Let's see. Yes. You can see this. We have this. This was our second person that added our details to that particular form yesterday. So we are starting from all. So you can see everything. We've gotten our form, our answers in. So we've exhausted from 15. We've exhausted 2 already. We have 13 left, and we can continue to use it through the class. So now, what do you want to connect with it? Remember, we've set this thing up is working. This is working already. When you see this and there's no error, it is working. Now, we want to connect it so that it can send these details into Notion. We want to send these details into Notion. Remember, we have 2 things. We have a goal, which is split into 2. It says we want to collect the student details, which we have done already. We've collected their details, and we've passed the module to make.com here. And we want to what? We want to automatically save them into our database, which we've also created here as well. Sorry, let me bring the new one out. We have created it here. So you guys can see it. We've created this here. So now we go back here, we pick what? From Notion. Now you also have to know which module to use on Notion, because Notion as an app or as a module also have numerous it has numerous features as well. You can see everything here. Let's click on show more. You can see several things here. Now this almost gave us a problem yesterday because I forgot which one I was meant to use, and that is very normal. Anybody can forget which one they were meant to use. So now if you see the form, if you see this form or this particular response resource page rather, I dropped all the steps here which you can follow. And if you see here, it says create a database item, because you need to know that every detail that come in is a lead. You can also call the lead an item here. The item will have several features or several properties. That is what it's called. Now we called it a lead, right? Let's call it an item now. It's also the same thing. So we have a database. We want to create a database item. That is what we are trying to do here. So we can see many things here. Update, you can see get, you can see search, create a database, a whole database entirely. So but we've created our database. We just want to add it in. So in this case, if you can also try to test run all of these things and see which one works. I had to test run everything before I was able to use this, because the video I watched in the past made use of Google Sheets. But at one point, I started seeing myself, I was like, Google Sheets is for old schoolers. Google Sheets is for old schoolers. I am new school, so let me use Notion. I've been using Notion for long, so let me see if Notion has an app here. And that was how I saw Notion. I started using Notion instead. So you can see create a database item, exactly what we're looking for. So you can pick that out. There are many other things here. When it comes to a project, I've not used probably 90% of this. I've only often used create a database item, create a page. I've used update a page for even my own personal project. So there are many things here that you probably not even use, at least depending on the project you are being given. So but in this case, you know that this creates a new item in your data source. Your data source can also probably be your database too. It was only one before. I don't know why Notion updated one and they called it legacy, but I remember an API documentation that told us to use legacy. Let's try to see if it is different. So from database, it's probably the same thing. So now, how do you even connect your Notion here? We've not connected it. So you need to connect your Notion. If you need to know, let us assume you don't know how to connect all of these things. One thing someone tried here, and it was something I was supposed to address on the call. You can see a link here. This particular platform have left a ton of documentations for us. Documentations are where you can find details of how to make all these connections. So I will tell you, if you probably get to this point and you find it hard for you to even do the one for Notion, because it's going to be a lot of steps, you can see that it says for more information on how to create a connection on Notion, see the online app. It will direct you to a specific page, the same way I have this page for myself and I sent it to you guys. It will show you a page where they've also added a list of things, a list of direction on how to connect your Notion account to this particular module. So you can click on it. If you click on it, you'll be able to see, let's see, it will give you steps, all the steps, and it's not going to miss a single thing. It's going to give you all the steps. You can see Notion here. Now it tells you the requirements. To use the Notion app on make.com, you have to have a Notion account, which I've said. Your Notion account must have the admin permission to establish the connection in Make. We're going to work around that. It's not a big deal. So far you're the owner of your account, it has admin permission. So now to connect your Notion and Make together, there are two ways. There's the internal connection and there's public connection. In most cases, in this particular core as well, we're using our internal connection. We're just doing this by ourselves. So to create the Notion internal connection, you first need to obtain your internal integration token from your Notion account. What is the integration token? If you see that when we want to create a new account here, or add our account rather, on Notion, on the Notion module, when you click on the add, it will probably be empty, unlike my own here. When you click on add, it will tell you connection type, public or internal. You can see that was what they said here also, internal connection, public connection. So in this case, you pick internal, right? It will now tell you internal integration token. That was what they also said here, if you see. So you can name this anything you want to name it, JCIN2. You need to get the token. How do you get the token? That's where you go back to your documentation. You go back here and what? You see the steps on how to do this here. Obtain the internal integration token in Notion. Before you create the internal connection in Make, you should first obtain an internal integration token in your Notion account. How do you do this? You log into your Notion account. This was how I did it, though I did not use this, but there was a separate connection I was trying to make that I used the documentation for the first time. And when I wanted to do it, I brought these two things together. I brought that particular app, the same way I'm bringing Notion, right next to the documentation page, and I started going through it. Log into your Notion account. Okay, I've logged into my account. So the next thing is click on settings and members. Where do I get these settings? Most settings are probably with your account itself. So I started looking for my account and I saw this, a drop down, and I saw settings. All right. Anyone, you want to say something? Does anyone want to say something? Okay, let's continue then. So you can see the settings here. This is my account settings. I click on these settings and it brings a particular page. I don't know what I'm meant to do, right? So I go back there and it tells me settings and members, go to connection. So I look for connection. Oh, this is connections here, right? And since I'm on this page, it says I should click on develop or manage integrations. So I start looking for it. Where is it? Where is it? Where exactly is anything? And I see it here. It's as simple as, that's why I'm saying, like, the documentation has all the steps there. So you only just to look for whatever button or whatever text somewhere in your page. So now develop or manage integrations. I click on it, it directs me to a new page. Now what did the documentation say again? I'm on the new page. Select the associate workspace and all this. Okay, so let me go back to the, yes, this is it now. Since I'm trying to create the integration, it says all workspace, and the same workspace is the workspace I've been using. So this is my workspace. So I can create a new integration, and that is what I want to do, right? So let's go back to that documentation. It says new integration. All right, let's go back here again. New integration. What am I to do again? Okay, I want to fill in the integration name, upload the logo, optional, choose the associated workspace and click submit. Is it that simple? All right, let's go back here. He said I should give it a name, so let's call it JCIN. Then let's choose an associated workspace, which is still the same workspace I'm using, which is the Notion account you have. So and create. Okay, I have this in now. So what am I meant to do? There's configuration, all these things I don't know anything about. You go back there, you see capabilities, blah blah blah, click save, everything. To be honest, you don't need to touch anything. You're on the same page, capabilities, and it says you should save. Now, one thing you need to know, it has automatically saved by itself. So most cases you can leave it the same way it is. You don't need to change anything here. Just leave it here. By default, it has done everything it needs to do for you to be able to make your connection. So what did it say in the documentation again? It says I should go to secrets and click show. Where's my secret here? So the integration secret. Okay, all right. Then click show. It will show the token. Click on the copy. This is what we needed in the first place. Oh yeah, let me go back to my stuff. Oh, so this was what they needed. It's as simple as that. We've gone through the documentation and we've been able to set up our Notion. Drop it in, save it, you're good to go. It's as simple as that. So you can see now that we've been able to follow the steps in the documentation here, and this thing applies. You can just that is all you need to do. This is for internal connection. This is the second one. Rather, this is the second one. I think we had two, right? We had two. So this is the second one. You don't need to go through all those stress anymore. Since we've gotten our key, that's all we need to do, and we've connected it to it. So now the next step now, what are we to do? We want to choose the database. We've created the database. Okay. So in this case now, would this thing actually find our database? Let's try to see. Enter manually, select from list abi, so there's something like that. Let's try to see how do we get this database ID. Okay, our query search, that means the same way we did on Google Forms, we can also search using what we use to save it, JCIN Fourier 2. Okay, let's just click on JCIN. Okay, let's see. Error, no matches found. Okay, so what went wrong here? It is very simple. We left something out. We left something out which we could have actually done. And let's see if there's any step again on this particular page. Is there any other thing that's going to show us what went wrong? Okay, so nothing is showing us. So now in this case, let us assume they think we already know the next step to do. But in this case, most people will make mistake, because if this answer is not there, then you are just clueless. So what I'll just tell you to do directly in this particular app when it comes to Notion, you have to see, is this database even connected to it in the first place? Okay, can I do anything about this? There are two ways to connect your database so that next time you use this query search, it's going to see the database. There are two ways to do that. The first way is to go back to that where you got your integration secret key. You go back there, and what? Content access. You can actually use this. Click on it. It will show you something, edit access. So no page access. That means you can probably you can let it have access to that particular database. You can do it by what? Editing access. Then you search for that page. What did we use to save that page? I remember it's JCIN Fourier 2, right? We click on it, you can see JCIN Fourier 2 here. It is here. There are also several other pages here, but JCIN Fourier 2 is what we're looking for. If we click on this, it's going to add to it. The second method, or the second way you can use to do this, is you can go to that same database. You click on the three buttons here, the three dots here, and what? Go to connections down here. It shows none currently. It shows none. You can look for that particular one we just created. That is what? JCIN. We created JCIN here. Let's see. Let's confirm once again. We created JCIN. Yeah, JCIN. That's what it's called, right? So go back there and click on JCIN. Confirm. You've connected your old page to what? Or your old page, the database, every single information. So let's assume this is not the only thing there. Probably it's not just the database that is there. There are many other things below. You can assume that everything will be connected to this. So in this case now, it's going to take our database. So we go back here. Since we've connected it, you can use, once again, you can use here, content access. You can see here now, it already has it here, because we've already connected it using the order method. So you can what? Go back here. Okay, let's try it again. I want to do JCIN, right? JCIN. And because that's the name of our database, it has the name there as well. So let's go back here and click on search query. Will it find it this time? Yes, it will. That is why we have it to automatically load everything for us. That is why all this field just got added itself. Now we've done this. You can what? You can try to save. It's not saving because you've not mapped everything. So what we're going to do in this case now is, since we've connected our Notion, we've eventually connected our Notion to it, and we want to add all these fields. Where are we getting this from? When you click on each of them, it will show you a method on how to map. We call this mapping, data mapping. So if you want to map the data you got from your forms, when you click on it, it's going to show the previous module before that particular module, to show them. If it's not just Google Forms, it will show many modules. If probably you added many other modules before you added Notion, it will show that. But in this case, you only added Google Forms before this Notion module. So you can see that what? It added them here. So when it comes to name, it's very simple. You have to look for it. Okay, where is the data for name here, so that I can map it? You can click on this and have the whole name added there. But there's something you need to know. When you click on it for it to bring other things down, you start seeing other values. There are other informations here, which in a case when it comes to tracking, when it comes to some advanced level of AI automations where they need to know the question ID, they need to know the grade, they need to know many things. All these things are a lot of things. For schools, they might want all these things. They might want you to include all these things. But for us, we just need their name. Kolofa. We don't want you to add all this question ID and the rest. So we can see the value here. Okay. We have a connection problem. Alright, so we should try to add in a new connection to this. So, is everyone with me? Alright, is everyone here now? Can you hear me now? All right. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I had an issue with my network here. Everything just went off. So, yes, where was I? Where did you guys stop?
At mapping.
Okay, at mapping. So we're in the same place then. All right. So when it comes to this, I hope you guys are getting it. I hope you guys are getting everything we've been doing so far.
Yes, sir. So I cannot see your screen.
Okay. Am I not share? I'm sharing my screen currently. Let me see. I'm sharing it currently.
The screen is not showing.
Okay, I'll try to do it again. Okay, so you can see me now, and you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
All right then.
Yes, sir.
So now let's continue. So when it comes to the mapping, right? So we've been able to get some responses already. That's why we're able to just go directly here. And yes, I was explaining this. So we only need the values of answer. We don't need a bundle. There's something they call bundles. You see all other buttons here, all these things here, there are cases where you might use them in the future. There are cases where you have a lot of responses, and there's a way you need to pass these responses to. There's a way you want to pass these responses. Let's save this. All right. So there's a way you want to pass these responses to get certain things from them. But in this case, we're not doing that. I don't know which automation can we do that I will tell you guys we should do that particular thing. I have no idea currently, but that thing also gave me a lot of problem. We made use of many things which we call tools. We call some things tools on make.com. These things are not apps, they are tools. They are make.com's tools on their own. I'm going to show you how all those ones work, but for this project, we're not making use of tools right now. So what we just need is the person's name, right? So we pick the value here for the name. That's the only thing you should map into. When you click it, it's going to add there. The one for question 1, everything is shuffled here. So we have to look for question 1, and our question 1 was what's the difference between AI and automation. You can see we should have mapped this whole thing, but we have other answers, other values, like the question ID, the grade, the score, the correct one, feedback, and many other things that we probably don't need. So the only thing we need now is a text answer, what the person picked as the answer, well, what the person typed in. Now this person wrote AI automation is the use of AI to make many other things. So we pick that one, the value as well. We do the same thing in WhatsApp phone number. This is the WhatsApp number here. We also go down, look for it, look for answer, look for value, we map it, look for the question 2. Where's question 2? What does a probabilistic brain mean? We also do the same thing. You look for that particular answer you're looking for. Since we've run the automation before, we can see some values here. So it makes it easier for us to map it. If we've not done that in the first place, it will be very hard. So that means in this case, whenever you are building automations like this, try to follow the same step I used. You test run it first, test run the first module, so you can have some results in. So when you want to be mapping, when you want to start mapping rather, Nigerian English, crazy. So when you want to start mapping, you start seeing the values of all these things. You start seeing them here. Like what I'm seeing Cynthia's name here. So right now, question 2, what does a probabilistic brain mean? I don't know. Very simple. So that's the answer. For the email, we look for the email. Where's the email here? Look for email and what? Go down. We see the value as well. This is our email here. And for question 3, that's what's an API? We look for this, we look for this, we look for this. So now we're faced with one more thing rather, feedback. We're faced with feedback. Now the thing about this is that if you go back to your Notion database, you see that these are feedback and we have no value here. We have no default value or anything we've added here in the first place, because we want to get our feedback directly from the options we added here. We added 3 options: enjoying it, extend the bootcamp, not enjoying it. We want them to be able to click on one thing here and it passes the feedback into our Notion CRM. So what we do here is you go back there, and since we have empty here, which means we don't have existing options inside our Notion CRM itself, you click on mapping so that you'll be able to map all those things from Google Forms instead. So when you click on this, you'll be able to see feedbacks. So your own is just to go back there, the same thing, text answers, the value. She picked enjoying it, but the value here means it's not just the answer she picked, it means any other answer so far it's inside that same feedback. If let me say someone else picks extend the bootcamp, we've mapped the same value, so it's going to pick anything concerning the value of feedback. It's going to also map it in. So we're picking value. In this case, she says she's enjoying it, and we're done, and we save it. Now what happens here is we save. Every single time you need to ensure you save. Let's see what is holding us back. We have everything here saved. Pick from list as manually. We have everything saved. Yeah, everything should go well now. Okay, I think it's our network again, so try to save it again. It has saved. Since it shows this, it is saved already. So what do we do now? We test run the whole thing. It has worked. So remember that before we've been able to get 2 in out of 15. We ran it the first time. Out of 15 responses, we've gotten 2. So if we do it this time around, we're not running by right clicking and choosing run this module alone. We're not doing that again. We want to test run the whole workflow, the whole scenario. We want to see if everything is mapping, everything we've done is working together. So you can click on run once. Run once is only going to run it once, and it will see if everything is working. So we're going to do that now. Let's see. Click on run once. Okay, it's already running. Sorry, I already clicked on it. So it's running now. Let's see. It seems it's the network that is giving us problem again. I'm pretty sure it's the network. Let's try to restart the page. Let's reload the page and do this again. So Okay, so let's go back there. Yeah, before I forget, you can see we have our history and everything here. This was the first one we ran, only one module. You can see the one credit, one operation. That was the time we did only this. So let's go back here now and run once. Now that's done again. This is the second and the fifth answer has gotten in. Now in this case, we've taken one credit first. We're taking another credit. We're taking 2 credits. This is 1 and this 1 2. So that means in total we've taken 4 credits out of 1,000 credits that we have. You need to keep note of that credit every single time. So you'll be able to know at the end of the day, once you are done building, you will know, okay, this is the calculated amount of credit this is going to take. Is our credit enough, or do we need to buy more? So now you can see this is working. We have our answer. We have our answer again, and we got these answers from what? Yesterday, 7:58, 1 minute right after we got Adebayo Oluwafisayo and Chiamaka Cynthia, right? So we have this, and this also ticked as well. If they tick like this, just know your operation went well, everything went well. This is green, everything went well, everything is working now. You've been able to successfully build an automation that can get in late. So you can see this. If you want to test run, if you want to see if this works, you can see these 2 operations, 2 credits as well. If you want to see if this works, you can check it through here. Now you can see the output. The output is where you check. You can see the output. You get to see that, okay, seems all these things work. You can see rich text question 1. The text that entered there was what she said. You can see AI is general. It's a technology itself. Why AI automation is an application or example of an AI. Excuse me. So you can see this. It has mapped inside question 1, inside Q1. Everything we've done has mapped. So how do we see it live to see if it really worked? Not just checking the mappings here. You go to that particular page and you see the 2 we ran. Okay, Jude moved this page to trash. Okay, so we have this back here once again. Was this the same page? Okay, yes, the first one for Fisayo and Cynthia, we've not done the database then, or we've not mapped it into it. So those data were lost. They cannot get here because what? Because we've not done anything. So we've wasted 2 data. So if you want to get it back again, you can either have to tell the person to input a detail, or something that Make.com have made available for us now, which you can go back to existing data. So something you've done before, you can go back there and run it again. So, but in this case, we have a lot of data to make use of. So these were the 2 people that came in once again, Alabi Esther and Esther Oluwatumininu. All right. So we have these 2 people, and everything, you can see everything is working now. We have everything in our CRM. The whole automation, the whole workflow, the whole scenario is working. Yes. So how do we ensure we don't have to keep running once every single time? What are we going to do? So you see here, this is scheduling. You are able to schedule the amount of minutes. You can see this here now, it says every 15 minutes, I want you to run an automation. So that means it runs this automation 4 times in an hour. Because every 15 minutes multiplied by 4 is 60 minutes, and you can multiply it by 24, right? So you can try to imagine 24 times 4, that's 96. 96 multiplied by 1 credit, 2 credits, that's 3 credits here. 96 multiplied by 3 credits. That should be going up to, that's 288. We have 288 credits for a whole day. Let us assume we keep getting a lot of information. We have 288 credits going every single day. So wait, am I correct? That's multiplied by 3. Sorry, multiplied by 4 is probably that should be going to 384. Yeah, 384. Sorry. So anyway, now back to this. You can see that what we have everything working. Now we can schedule based on every 15 minutes, right? and we can reduce this, but for basic accounts like your own currently you cannot reduce this, so let's leave it here at this. You can see that there are several options rather for you to run a scenario. So you can run this at regular intervals. That means at regular interval for every 15 minutes. If you do it for once a day, it's going to change. Once a day, I give an example of let's assume we have a WhatsApp vendor now, and this person keeps getting a lot of sales every day, right? And she doesn't want to do much than to just look at, oh, okay, this person bought something from us, and we told this person to fill in their details, to get in their emails and their phone numbers, to know our customers very well, that kind of stuff. So this person, at the end of the day, she gets tired every day. She goes home, and what she picks run once by 8 p.m. every day. She chooses the date, she chooses the time she wants to get this by 8 p.m. She goes 00, so that's 8 p.m. every day, and she clicks save. We're not running the scenario yet. So you can see this is only going to run once. If you want to turn this to run every day for that particular WhatsApp vendor, you click on every day here, and you can also pick your time here as well. So there are several options. There's another one that says days of the week, so you can pick the day of the week you want to be getting those details that you're getting in every day. You want to pick the days where you're not available. So let's assume on Sundays you don't want to do anything related to work, so you don't pick Sunday, you pick Saturday, you pick this, you pick this, you pick this. Let's say on Tuesdays you are probably you have something you are doing, you have something special, you don't want to do any work stuff, you don't pick that Tuesday, you pick Monday. So you can try to assume that these are the only days that you are going to get in this detail by this same time as well. So the same thing applies on the rest. On demand also does the same thing like this run once. So every single time you have to come back to make.com yourself to run this thing on demand. That's the thing. That's how it works. You have to run it by yourself. So there's another one, but it's not showing. And I'm going to show you an example of a scenario where it shows that particular run trigger option, the scheduling option. I'm going to show you. But for this, let us go back to the initial one, run every 15 minutes. So you can try to assume, let's activate this now. If we activate, it's going to run again. It's going to run one data, and after running it every 15 minutes, it will keep on getting other data in. So when we do this, it's going to run. It's not going to show you anything because we've left the space of test running. We are now running it live. It's active. So how do you know it's active? You can see it's active here. And just now, since we clicked on for it to run, you can see the time is exactly the time we have currently. So it just ran for another one, and you will see it added here again. Two more. We have two more. Salu and Oluchi. We have these two people in. You can see. So we have an automation that is running on its own. You need to know that before this rather, you have to build code, you have to do a lot of things, build statements and many things before this works. But right now we're able to do this easily. So this was what we did yesterday, and I'm happy we were able to cover this thing today. And so far this was what we're able to build. Now when it comes to this, let's see, is there any other thing we are missing when it comes to this? So we're done building this. Yes, one more thing now to round it up. I said error handling. There's something called error handling, right? So error, when it comes to the word error, it's very obvious. That means something went wrong. There are many cases when things go wrong when it comes to running automations or when it comes to any setup. Mistakes happen. A lot of things happen. There are many scenarios that I gave in yesterday. I gave in scenarios like, let's assume you connected this to the wrong connection. Let me say you did this to a connection that doesn't have this database ID, and you use this. If you run this scenario, let's first remove this from active so it doesn't run anything. Let's save this now. If you run this, we are going to get an issue here. We have an error. Now there can be another case where it's not even this, it's probably not this. It can even be maybe you made your mistake picking, okay, we cannot pick a wrong one here. Or let's assume, let's just bring let's remove the first form ID. Let's remove one. Let me say you made a mistake of saving it this way, and you try to run it as well, we had our error right from the beginning. So you get to know there's an error somewhere. How do you now know how to debug this error? How do you know how to get the main issue and solve it? You can what? Click on this attention icon. You see, not found 404. When you see things like 404, it means that the page is not found. And if pages are not found there, that means there's probably an issue with the URL. The URL doesn't exist. There's nothing like that. That's the case where you get 404. So this generally, when it comes to 404, you can see not found. When it comes to 404, is mainly websites, but you can also liken the same logic to this. So that means what we're looking for is not found. How come? What is not found is probably the page, right? So when you get to look through it, you try to do the connection again, and you are sure this time around that everything, you try to do the search again. Let's do JCIN, right? JCIN, and let's pick it, the correct one this time around, which is JCIN AI automation. Okay, this time we have our one there. When you save this here as well, it's going to run very fine. You can see this. We've been able to solve this. So now there are other cases where it is not this is what we call human error. It's an error from your own end. It's an error from your own end. It is not the machine error, it's your own error. So there are other cases where it doesn't really happen much, but there are other platforms, other apps that they get a lot of traffic. When it comes to the likes of Google and Notion, their app, their features, everything they have, they've been able to scale their products that it can accommodate many people. I mean, you can try to imagine, you are probably using a Google account. I'm using a Google account. Many people, half of the world is probably using Google account. You can see that they've been able to build their product to be scalable. It's able to handle multiple people at once in the same second, the same minute. So Google doesn't really have any issue when it comes to this, but other apps do have those issues. At the beginning phase of Notion, I can imagine Notion was probably not able to they were not able to manage up to 10 million users at once. They were probably able to manage, let me say, like 100,000 users one time. So during that time, it would be, if there was AI automation and all these things, then you can liken this to a new startup or a new product. Maybe you're not familiar with the particular product your client says you should use, but you are just using it, right? And let me say they have issue, probably from their headquarters, they have a server issue or anything, and because of that you get an error. So in cases like this, because it comes up, especially for most products that are not very common, or that are not or they are still trying to scale basically. But right now most startups are probably trying to work on that, so this issue doesn't really happen. I don't have much charge on my battery right now. I just hope it takes through the end of the class, or probably we have power here. So I'll try to do the best I can now. So anyway, in cases like this, the best thing to do, and as an AI automation specialist, just do something. Try to set an error handler. Let me do this thing again. Let me try to give us an issue again. Let's do this, let's save this and run. Let's give us an issue here. You can see it is even going to recommend error handlers for us. You can see this. To error handler, ignore all error. By doing this, it's going to create an error handler by itself. You can see ignore. Now there are many error handlers. You need to know this. There are many error handlers, but the tool that you probably have to use at all is that ignore that we just added. You can add it manually rather than having to come here and click on this. You can add it manually by right clicking as well. You see add error handler here. We mostly just use two. To be honest, I doubt you use any other one. Because I have not used any other one so far. All the automations I've built, I've only used break and ignore, and most times I don't even use ignore, just break. So let's use break this time around. You can bring it down here for you to know this is not an automation itself. This is just a flow control. This is a tool. Also, this is an example of a tool. So now in this case, you can see this automatically complete execution. There's a yes and there's a no. If you use a no, that means um in this case now, whenever you pick a no, it is going to, when it automatically completes, what does it mean? It is going to it's not going to complete it, it's going to just stop there. It's going to stop there. So but in this case, you click on yes, so you can have several other options to deal with. Now what you do is, what this break does and why I use it and why other experts use it is so that they'll be able to try it again. They want to try this stuff. Okay, maybe the issue we had was from the server, of the company, for example, that we were saying. So let's try 3 more times, maybe it will work. And we need to set a timer for it to do every 3 times, right? Or every time, rather. So in this case, the interval between attempts, that means how many minutes do you want to give for it to try again, try again, try again. This is 15 minutes. In minutes, you can see it here. There's something I mentioned also in yesterday's class, which was that most of the things you want to do, they are already written there. They will make it very understandable to you using plain text. Everything is here, so you understand everything. So the highest minute that we can have is 44,640 minutes, which probably nobody will use that. So every 1 minute, we want us to be able to try it again, because we want to ensure that data enters Notion. So yes, every 1 minute, and we save it. Now there's an issue that we're having here. It keeps giving us this issue. Why? Because there's something it wants you to configure before you're able to do that retry stuff for 3 times in every 1 minute. So you have to click on this. It will show you something like this: sequential processing, all these other stuff. I explained a couple of things yesterday, and the first one is, if you enable this option, the incomplete blah 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 contains, you know what this is saying when it comes to the word sequential means something is going in accordance. That means something like A, B, C, D, E, F, like that, or 1, 2, 3. It is not jumping any step. It's not trying to scale any step. So if you click on yes, that means what you're trying to say is that when this one comes in, you don't want others to scale above it. You want to solve this particular issue because it is A. We're having a problem with data A coming in, probably through the API or anything that was just the issue, and we don't want another one to happen. So we want to solve this one before another data comes in, or even if there's another data, it's not going to work, it's not going to enter before we solve that particular one. You can click on no, so that this particular one now, what it does is that it ensures that you want to have business. Okay, let us assume you are running a business, and because one has an issue, you don't want your whole business to just flop because of a particular order has an issue. Now your whole business has now stopped because of just one order. You might be losing millions because of that. So you click on no. In this case, is your data confidential? Yes or no? Depends. You can decide to choose yes. When you do that, you are left with little options. To be honest, you are left with little options. But if I will tell you, in this case, you can choose no. There are cases where you need to choose yes. For some industries, there are some businesses or industries or companies that they want to be sure that whatever you are doing with the data of the customers or the clients coming in is confidential. You are not playing with it in any way. So it is confidential. Make.com is not doing anything with their data, because when something has an issue like this, the data has to be stored somewhere. It will be kept. It's being kept so that it can run again. That kind of stuff. So, but in this case, there are some businesses that they just want you to follow compliance. So, and these are industries or niches like health, like legal, that's the law and all those kind of stuff. So this kind of industries, you need to make them be aware that everything is okay, your data is confidential, there's nothing going on, don't worry about it. There's something in health they call HIPAA compliance. They want to be sure that there's nothing you are using their like when it comes to health now, there's nothing you are using their patients' data to do. You're not using it to bully them in any way. So in this case, it's confidential, right? Now, rather than using platform like make.com, you can just use other platform that is specific to that particular uh, industry. Like the health industry, I personally use Keragon for I've been in contact with three different health businesses in US, which I had to tell them, you know what, just let's use Keragon. Because one thing is that something we Nigerians might consider no stress, they no fit do anything, don't worry. Them over there, they want to be sure, because they don't want to face lawsuits. They don't want to face issues. So you too, you have to be with them that omo, if you don't want any issue, don't worry. Let us use a platform called Keragon that is also like make.com, but it's for health. It's for the health industry, so you don't worry about your data. There's nothing they are going to do with your data. Everything is safe, blah blah blah. So in this case, I don't use make.com for them. I use Keragon instead. So if you're also someone that wants to go into a niche like the health industry, you can decide to use Keragon instead. But you need to know that Keragon doesn't have a free mode like make.com has. But there's something I also mentioned, which is if you get to build and you're familiar with make.com, you'll be able to build on other AI automation platforms too, like that Keragon, N8N, Zapier, Linden AI, and many more AI automation platforms. So you don't need to be scared. Now let's get back to this, which is we want to get sequential processing. No, data is confidential. Let's use no. Store incomplete executions. We need to store them so it gets to run again. So yes, click on yes, we click on OK, we save it, everything is fine now. Now we can use the same thing. You can copy this module, you can paste it here as well. Allow, connect this here. Now why I'm doing this is I don't want any issue to just come up here. If any issue comes up from all these two, I'm trying to be very careful. These are part of the things that you do as an AI automation specialist to just avoid any problem that might come in. So this is error handling procedures basically. So this is really the craziest error handling thing you have to do. And honestly, rather than watching a full hour, 1 hour video, 2 hours video on error handling, I will tell you most of it is fluff, but you can still watch it because it will make you learn many things. I had to watch it also because I thought there was something special or different between what I was doing and them. At the end of the day, I discovered even the person I was watching from used only this most of the time. So that's error handling for you. We use this so that we avoid any issue that might just come in anytime, coincidentally, anything. We avoid all this issue. This is what error handling is. So we are done with that, and we've been able to build our automation. We can leave it back to every 15 minutes so we can run it. Everything is going. Our automation rather is active. Now I was saying this, there's a very big difference between I don't think I've set it up, so you can see I've not done that. That's why it gave us an issue again. So you can see that we had an issue now when I ran it, and when it gave us this attention sign here, because we have an error handler, instead of red it brought out this orange color, and it's ticked 2 here instead. It's trying to say we have an error here, we got 2 stored, we've stored 2 information here, we're going to try again. Okay, because bro, you don't make mistake, we'll try it again, maybe it will work. So this stuff, they will probably try it like 3 times, right? To try it 3 times every 1 minute. So we can just leave it. We've been able to do it, so it's going to correct itself. So you can just leave that, please. It's going to correct itself. So now I was saying it yesterday, which was supposed to be our second class, but once again my battery is going low. I don't know what is going to happen now, but I will just continue. So yesterday I was saying there's a difference between AI and AI automation. So AI automation and automation. So automation itself is what we did. We did not make use of any AI here. Honestly, we didn't use any AI. So this time around, we want to make use of an AI. You can rename this. We can rename this to automated CRM. Yes, you can just put a bracket using Notion. Okay, Google Forms and Notion. You can just save it so that you know what you were doing here in the first place. So yes, so what we build is an automation with no make use of any AI. So we can't call this an AI automation. So in a case where you use an AI is where you call it AI automation, right? So but basically we are done with the first build, and I hope everybody has been able to understand what we've done so far. So I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys understand what we've done so far? Do you guys understand what we've done? Is everyone here? Is everyone here? Is everyone here? This is still recording.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why are you guys not responding? Let's see. Faith, why you not responding? Busola, Cynthia. Okay, Lulu is with us today. Was she with us yesterday? Okay, so we've built that. If you guys are not responding, I'll just go on with the rest. So we've built that. We've done that particular one. The next thing we want to do is we want to make use of another form of connection. So in this way now, let's assume we are not building using Google Forms. We want to get in responses from people, from probably yourself, or you want to get a response from probably a group or a message. You can do this thing for messages as well. But in this case, I want to get a message from myself. I want to create a bot, and I want to make use of Telegram. So the same method applies here. Let me just do this. Let me delete this. Recover, delete. So I've deleted this. It's also the same. You click on the plus. Since we want to make use of Telegram, we click on this, the only Telegram module there, and you can choose from any of the functions here. And in this case, we want to receive a message, right? So we click on this. We're trying to build the second. This is the live build 2. We want to build this. So that's what we want to do. So how do you make this connection? It's almost the same thing as what we did for Notion. So I had to click on add. It took me here to take the token. How do I get the token for Telegram bot in the first place? You have to now go to your Telegram account. You go to your Telegram account. I made this available yesterday. You have to look for this botfather. You have to click on this. You'll be able to now create a new bot. Now I've exhausted my my bots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel. You click on that slash. You click on slash. Then I want to see my bots, my existing bots, and I want to pick the one I created yesterday. Then I want to delete it. Yes, delete bots. Yes, I'm sure. All right. So now I can create a new bot. I had 20 bots. So, and that's the max that you can create. So now I've deleted one. I have 19. So I'm able to create a new bot. Create new bots. What's the name I'm going to use for this bot? I named it JCIN AI bot. Right? The same thing again. I can use JCIN AI bot. Alright, so we have this. I've created a bot. It's as simple as that. And how do I now get access to that token? This token. I get access to this token by looking at this place. Use this token to access the HTTP API. So it's basically an API. So I copy this and I go back here and I had the token there. So before that, let me see if this bot is live. I click on this and I'm able to chat with the bot. But the thing is, this bot is not powered by anything. It's not powered by AI. It's not powered by anything. If I send anything, it's not going to respond to me. It's not going to say anything. So how do we now give it a functionality, an AI functionality or anything for it to return messages back to us as well? That's what we're trying to build here. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to add an AI functionality into an automation to make it AI automation, right? So I've added it. Now I have to look for the chat ID. And if you want to do this, one of the easiest ways, you know what, let me just start. Send or receive, send, oh, this is send or reply. So I chose the wrong bot. I'm supposed to take a bot that says, hold on. I'm supposed to take a bot that says receive. I want something that brings in message, not to send. So I have to look for something that looks like it's going to watch updates, triggers when there's a new update from your Telegram. Okay, so what I should have picked there was this webhook instead. So I made a mistake. Rather than choosing that, I should have used this instead. But the thing is that we've made our connection already. The same process, just create this, add, and what, the token. And we've done that already. So that's why we have this set up. So when you've done this, just save. Now, anything I send here now is going to receive it. It's going to, let me save first. Then let's send an hi. Okay, you know what? Let's say this is the AI automation class. So when we do that, we try to run once. You guys are familiar with this already. Run once. It's meant to get the message now, or it gets every other message I sent here too. Let's see. I think this is the network. This is probably the network. Let's try to reload again. Should I ask why the gen is not on? Okay. So yes, this is what I wanted to address. So the other time I mentioned that there was something that was missing in the previous one, and that's because there are some modules. I was explaining yesterday, there are some modules that they only send, they don't collect. So what I mean here is that you can see that this module has, let me click on this empty blank one. You can see that when we click on this, we click on send a text message, and this has this is on link. This has two bubbles here. That means this can collect from someone from another module, and it can also send to another module. But in this case, this only has one. It only has one, meaning it can only send from whatever data it's getting from the webhook or from an API or anything. It can only send to another module. It cannot receive from another module. It can't do anything like that. So that is where something like this most of the time always come like this immediately, and it mostly happens in webhooks. You saw that when we open this, it has the word webhook. Now you need to know that for all those tokens and all those APIs and everything we're talking about, most of it are just connection keys that is specific to your own account alone. My token key or API key or anything can never be the same as yours. So in this case now, most times we can configure it to receive data at interval once a day or anytime, anything. Even if the person, let us assume we've gotten data since morning, we can decide to set it to only receive once by 8 p.m. right now in the evening. So but in this case, what webhooks do, webhooks get the message immediately. They get the data, whatever thing you are sending, immediately. So whenever you say anything webhook, know that even if it's on Google Forms and there's any webhook to be able to collect data from Google Forms, it's going to get it immediately. Let's try to see if there's anything like that on Google Forms as well. So Google Forms, right? Google Forms, let's see if there's anything like that. Okay, a webhook has to exist alone, so it must not have any connection button. Let's delete this. Does not have any connection button. So let's do it again. Google Forms. Let's see if this has anything like, yes, it has ACID and it has, okay, watches for response. If you see this only has one account, and the way we can know if it works is you take this trigger wherever this particular circle is called the trigger. So this is what will first kickstart before the other modules also run. This is the thing that starts the whole execution itself. So you can drag it here. So let's see, does this have the same thing as well? Does it have the same thing? Does it have anything like immediately? No. That means this is not what? It's not a webhook. Obviously, it doesn't have webhook here. That's the thing. So, does anything on Google Form, does it have anything webhook related? Let's check. Let's check. I think not. The thing is, I think it did. It did have. When I started, then it had, but at one point we suddenly discovered that Google updated their API, their whole connection stuff, and they removed it. So that is the issue we have here. So that's why we don't have anything from Google that is webhook, or we don't have a Google Forms that is webhook. So you can scrape that for now. But there are other details, other apps that have webhooks, like Notion. Notion has a webhook as well. So anyway, you can see this now. Watch updates, battery low, plugin to charge soon. So we might have to pause for now. I don't know if you guys will still be active, but I'll go outside now and see if I will be able to have power, so we can continue this class. And if not, once again, I've explained that one. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So once again, I've gone over the class we had yesterday. We're supposed to go over another one right now, which we're building, but I don't know if I'll be able to get power this night, so I have to confirm. So, and if I'm able to get power, I'll get back to you guys and we'll continue this class. But if I can't, I might have to take this once again tomorrow. But that means tomorrow we need an earlier time once again, because there was lights before, but I don't understand what's going on now. Anyway, the main thing is that if we want to do this tomorrow, we have to round up everything we want to do tomorrow. So the same tomorrow, we are going to build many things. We're also going to have a general class to go over everything we've done today, yesterday. I've literally gone over the same automation over today and yesterday. So I will assume it should be easy for you to build right now, or at least you'll be able to go over every step I made here. So Ola, are you good with this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Lulu, Fisayo, are you guys good with this? Do you understand? If you don't understand, let me know, please. Let me know.
Yes, sir, we are good.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay. So Lulu has not been responding. Kilo shele. So Fisayo, anything? What do you think? Okay, Fisayo is not here. So Faith, how about you? And Busola, I want to hear from you guys, please. I've not even been hearing from you guys at all.
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
Okay, were you in the class yesterday?
Good, sir.
Were you guys in the class yesterday? Any and Busola?
Yes, sir.
Busola,
Yes.
how about you? Okay. Faith, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so are you guys
I
able to?
understand the first one you taught, but this Telegram was
Okay, we've not gone much on Telegram, so we can definitely address that one. But so far you can do that one, right? Is this something you can do right after this call?
Yes, sir. I will try my best.
All right then. So I've gotten responses from them. Okay, Toluwani, you responded on the group, so I remember. What's up? Toluwani, Ayomide, and Sheun. Anything from you guys? Nothing. Okay, and Fisayo is not active right now. And the last person, OA. Who is OA? What's up? Do you understand everything? I want us to be on the same page.
Yes, sir. I understand everything.
Okay. What's your full name, please?
Olajide Abayomi.
Okay, Olajide. Okay. All right, no problem. So, you know what you guys will do once again? I've been able to go over the class all over again. So I will appreciate if you guys can actually build this same thing. When you build it, the thing about this is you have to build to get familiar with it. Honestly, you have to build to get familiar with it. Even watching and staying on live with this call, I will tell you forget things. It also works in the same way where um let me say the first day you start which example can I use now? The first day probably when you started using your phone, it also works the same way. You're not familiar with it. And I bet it with you, you will see everything as this thing, I don't know how to use this phone yet. But every day when you keep using it, it becomes a reflex for you. That you can just pick on your phone every time, and even without looking at it, you know how to put your password, you know which app to go, you probably remember everything. Oh, okay, this is where my Notion app is, this is where my OPay is. The same thing works for everything you are doing, honestly. So it works in this case where you need to be familiar with it, you need to work on make.com, you need to do all these things. So, and when you do them, you make mistakes too, if possible. You try to remember, you go through the steps on this page. You go through the steps on the page, on this particular page, this resource page. You go through the steps here and try to see, okay, whichever one you can remember. This video now, I recorded this video again, so I might not be able to upload this tonight because it seems the network is going weird again, and I've not uploaded the one for yesterday. So, but thank God I was able to go over everything from scratch. So I have a new video to upload instead of the one of yesterday now. I'll upload this particular one. So the next one we're supposed to do is for Telegram. But unfortunately, we can't continue with that one. So, but right now, when we end this call, I'll try to confirm if power can come in or not. But if it can't, I'll update you guys on the group. So I am happy I got to do this all over again with you guys. And I'll appreciate if you guys can do this thing. So if we cannot have our class, if we cannot continue right now, right after my PC drops, we have to do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow, we have to finish everything we want to do tomorrow. Like this time around, I'm not going back. I want to build a full AI powered automation in front of you guys. And we might likely have to pick an earlier time, please. And this time around, we might not say, okay, let us do it by 6. And we might not wait for anybody. Because to be very honest, I'm also tired right now. I'm tired. I have many projects to do. Though I'm not complaining. Let us be sure on that. I'm not complaining. I'm happy I'm on this call with you guys, with everybody. I'm very happy, to be honest, because it means more people are coming into this, and it means there are more people that I can also share ideas with. At one point, I can see everybody become an expert. No be only me go they run this thing. There are many experts out there, but I can have people right here, and I'm very we have many ideas, many parts in AI automation. I will not try to be greedy anymore and try to do everything. I can say, okay, you guys, some of you can go into this and that. So this is one of the reasons why I'm very happy. As selfish as it might sound, yes, this is one of the reasons why I signed up to do all of these things, because I want other people to also do the same thing I'm doing. So anyway, in conclusion, I might be able to get back to you guys, and if not, tomorrow we have to finish every single thing we are trying to build. So, and to conclude everything, after tomorrow doesn't mean we have ended everything. We can probably pick a day in every week, just a day in every week, where we'll come together, everybody, and we can decide to build something. You guys might even see projects online and tell me, okay, you're finding this hard, let's build it together. And we can just decide, okay, you know what, let us go to Chrome, let's start doing everything from scratch. You get? And these are places where you might see me make mistake. You also can build it on your own. You make mistakes, we all make mistakes together, build something big, and you guys get sure that you guys can do it. And all this kind of stuff, we get familiar with each other. And so tomorrow is not the end of the whole boot camp. Well, it's the end, but like we can still always connect once every week for months, so we can get used to each other. And I've said this thing, if possible, there might be job opportunities and we can all share it with other people that are also ready to work. So this might be your first network of experts you have. If that is it, might be your first network of experts. So yeah, so once again, I'm glad I came to this class. So good night, everybody. I would be expecting you guys tax. I will be expecting you guys to work on this thing and give me a response on it. So all right, good night, everyone. I'll be leaving now. Okay.
Sir.
All right, ma. Let me cancel
No,
this.
sir.
Good night, ma. Good night, ma. Okay. Yep.
Good night, sir.
Good night, ma. Oh my God. I need to shut this shit down.